Betty, this is David at Barnyard Bees. It's amazing how mid-November, how the bees can actually increase and keep on increasing in population. It's about probably, I'm guessing 60 or 65 degrees. It's a pretty nice mid-November day. The bees are flying like crazy, very busy. Chickens are out looking for hive beetles that probably don't exist anymore, but they're still looking. As I go down through here and look, the bees are just, I can tell just by looking at the population, and you can tell that they're still increasing. Even though, like I said, we're into mid-November, they're still going, still getting stronger. So if you're doing that and you're making increase, always make sure that you keep supplementing your bees. Do something. Right now, we're still feeding sugar water, and we will right up until 1st of December is when we'll shut it off. So these bees are still taking down the sugar water slowly. They're not taking a whole lot. We had mixed it, we made it to 2-to-1 now, so we're 2-to-1 sugar water. As you can look out through there, the whole yard. This is the most bees that we've had this time of year, and as many as we sold. We've sold over 500 nukes this year. Now we do have more yards than this, but still, we sold a lot, we increased, and those yards have actually grown, our out yards, so they're even bigger than they was to begin with. So we've done splits and splits, and just keep increasing and selling at the same time. And a lot of people will tell you, stop feeding pollen, don't feed pollen, but I'm telling you what, if you want some strong bees to come out of winter, and these will keep increasing, keep feeding pollen, because it won't starve your bees out if you'll make sure that their supplies are adequate compared to what they're bringing in pollen. So just make sure, you feed sugar water up until December 1st. Those bees will take in plenty. And then, like I said, we will start putting dry sugar on as emergency feed. Now those bees at first, once you do that, you can go back and watch my previous video when we did that, they won't take it immediately. That sugar, it will take about a month, and they won't even be interested in it at first. So when you put it in there, don't worry about them not taking it, because they're not going to take it at first. They will take it once their honey stores start running low. No, not when it runs out. The bees seem to know that when it starts running low, and after about a month or 2 months, because you put it in 1st of December, by end of halfway through January, they'll start eating on it. And it takes a good month for that to harden up from the moisture that's in the hive. That rooster, he's digging, he's trying to find the hive beetles, and he's probably not having any luck finding any. There may be a few come out of the hives now and then. Our mite treatments, they're done, everything's prepared. You can see the entrance reducers in front of all the hives. So we're set. We did everything we can do to get these bees through the winter. And there's a lot of bees. And the thing about commercial beekeeping is you always got to work with numbers. And I was telling somebody down at the store the other day, they said, well, they only want 1 or 2 hives. But what I told them, I said, that's fine. I said, but you need to have around 5. If you only want 2, you need to have 5. And the reason being, because beekeeping isn't like it used to be. It used to be old timers would go out there once or twice a year and harvest the honey and not open it back up until the next year. Well, it's not that way anymore. You got to manage your bees, go through them, and keep a check on them. And you also got to run a few extra hives. Now, that don't mean you have to have 5 big hives that are triple deeps or even double deeps. If you want to run 2 hives for honey production for yourself, then run you 3 or 4 of these nukes as well. And they can always be a backup. Something happens to your big hive coming out of winter, you go into winter with 5 or 6, 7 hives, you got a lot better chance of going through the winter with 2 hives. So that's why I'm saying they don't have to be huge. You can run 2 honey producing hives and then run 3 or 4 of these smaller 5-frame nukes. And they don't take up much space. I mean, you can see I could even run these closer together. I got 10 on these stands here. You could probably run 15, or see that these right here, these that you see the lumber are 4x4 by 8s. So you could push those even closer together. I got them spaced apart more than I actually need. So it takes very little space. So you could put 8 on that if you really wanted to, and that's all the space it will take to run those 8 nukes is from right there to right there. You could scooch them in just a little bit closer and get about 3 more on that stand. And I run them, if you notice how I got one facing forward, one running, well, no, look, I ate my words right there. But it's supposed to be that way. This is one that's probably got moved, but it wasn't intentionally but I normally run them, every other one, with the entrance facing this way, one facing that way, one facing this way. It gives the bees a better chance, and then also, if you lose a queen, and that queen returns, it gives them a better chance to come back and find her location, because she may get confused if your hives are sitting side by side, and especially if they're the same color, facing the same direction. Well, you increase the chance of them coming back if you turn it around the other direction by 50%, just by doing that, because she'll know which direction for sure that she come from, or that her entrance is. She won't forget that her entrance was on this side and not on that side. So that it gives you a little bit better chances. And so that's about all I want to talk about today. I just wanted to, talk about the winter bees, and I'm gonna do these little updates every once in a while, trying to get people. This right here is probably the most that's ever been at this feeder at one time. Every day, when you get a nice warm day like you do today, these things are absolutely tearing this feeder up. This is a dry pollen feeder, in case somebody's new to the channel. We feed Ultra Bee artificial pollen straight, not cutting it with anything, just 100% pure Ultra Bee that we sell at our store at barnyardbees.com. I'm a big believer in feeding this. Some people will say not to, but I'm telling you, if you want strong bees and you want to get them through the winter, don't let them run out of pollen. And the more you feed these, the stronger your bees are going to be coming out of the winter. The thing is, make sure that you got the honey supplies to back it up, or feed right up until time. Here in North Georgia, when I say 1st of December we pull the wet sugar, you'll have to experiment with your part of the country, because that could vary. You could be, if you're in the deep north of Michigan or New York, 1st of November would probably be your time to pull that wet sugar. And the reason you pull it out is because you give yourself advantage with less moisture in the hive. So the bees have to fan, and that's why you go to a 2-to-1 as well, for people that doesn't know that. You go to 2-to-1, because I've had that question asked a lot, and I'm glad I thought about it. When you feed 2-to-1 and they put it in their cells, they don't have to fan and evaporate it as near as much as they would 1-to-1. The reason you do 1-to-1 because it mimics more of the nectar flow that will encourage them to build up more wax. And that's why we do that. So that's why we change up. So come out of the winter time, we will resume 2-to-1. Coming out of winter time, probably about February, what we do, and I'll show this as time goes on. I'll make videos as it's happening too, when the red maple blooms. When the red maple blooms and these bees start bringing in pollen from the red maple, they will instantly stop from this stuff right here. And it's just like a sign that you can't avoid seeing. And they will start taking sugar water down like you wouldn't believe. So we start feeding sugar water through the month of February. Come March 1st, back to 1-to-1. And they start increasing and building up, and that's how we do it. These bees are today is a good day. I love days like this. It gives them a chance to work. They are just, and these feeders here too, I think I've described before on the videos, they're tapered upward. So when it wind and rain comes, it keeps that pollen dry as a bone, and it never will get wet. So that's about it. Don't forget, if you want your packages, 3-pound packages, 2-pound packages, nukes, 5-frame nukes, order them now. The quicker you order them and put down your deposit, the quicker you're going to have them, because it'll be March, you know, provided that the winter does us good. It'll be into March, if not, you know, into April, the first part of April. But the earlier you order them, the earlier you're going to get them. So the list, as people orders, they get theirs later and later dates. So somebody that orders in March is going to get their bees a lot later than somebody that's going to order them now. So having said that, don't forget, we got the supplies, folks, if you need them. Everything and anything at barnyardbees.com. Don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on the little bell. You'll be notified of any new videos coming up. And thanks for watching Barnyard Bees.